Hi. Today we're once again going to check out the great guitar tone that Ace Frehley had on the 1975 Kiss album Alive. That's partly a live album and partly a studio album. There were some overdubs done in the Electric Ladyland studio, as I've understood it, in New York. I've heard many accounts on how those overdubs were done, but one account that I have great faith in said that they used one half stack. They brought that to Electric Ladyland, and both Ace and Paul did their overdubs there using that half stack, and that it was Greenbacks, T1281 Greenbacks in it. So I'm using here I'm going to use they used the 1973 Super Lead, and I'm going to use an SLP here from 2015, I think it's, or 16 maybe it's from. Those are very similar to the early 70s JMPs. I'm going to put one 1973 because that's the vintage they used for the cabs, Greenback T1281. But then in this cab I also have two 1975 Blackbacks, because I'm assuming they blew some Greenbacks, and those were probably replaced by the new Blackbacks from 75 that were released when they did this album. There is also a G12H T1281 from 1971 in this cab. I'm close miking the 1973 T1221. So in that sense, this is a 1973 1960 B cab, you could say. Today I'm also recording in a new room. A friend of mine has invited me to work in his facilities, so that's really good, because it has just amazing sound, that room. So we will have many great tones from there, I hope. Well, Ace Frehley of course used the 1973 Gibson Les Paul. I think it was a deluxe that he put humbuckers in. I think he either had super distortion or some other T-tops or something in it, but most likely super distortion on the live. But I'm using a Nordin Comet Krystin instead, with a Gibson Burstbucker 2 in it. That's a great Ace Frehley tone, I think. I'm also going to play drums today, so it will be some Segeborn brothers again. No bass player, I'm afraid, but two guitars and drums. And I'm going to use the Jupiter 14 by 5-inch snare, the same that Peter Criss used, and then the cymbals and so on is Paiste. And the kick I'm going to use here is a Ludwig VFL from I think the 40s or something like that. That is just 20-inch, but it sounds kind of big, I think. I think it does the tone that some of the tones that Peter Criss had on Alive. On some of the tracks he had a bit higher tune snare, and some of the tracks the snare was a bit low and slightly dead, and that's the tone I've been going for here. Then on top of that, I've used the live isolation tracks from the song Deuce that is available online on YouTube. Isolation tracks, and then I made EQ matching from my recordings to the Kiss recordings, and that the difference between my tracks and their tracks is that they have an enormous amount of treble that I can't get, and they have a whole lot more bass, but I need to scoop out most of the mids, which was kind of surprising. But having done that, you get the aggressive tone of Alive. My interpretation of that is that the tone on Alive depends a whole lot of the on the console. Eddie Kramer probably added a lot of treble and so on with the console, but I'm just speculating. But that's what my EQ matching gave me at any rate. You know, EQ matching is something that you have in most digital audio workstation softwares. You measure the frequency distribution of the sound you like, and then your own sound, and then it calculates how you should EQ your sound to get the sound you like. And in this case, I had to remove most of the mids. I basically had to remove everything that I was proud of in my sound. So I did. You know, so trial and error and trying new things is what pays off. Yeah. So now after that long introduction, let's listen to the tracks now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Cheers.